There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, and that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Belle, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 6 of the Supercheap Auto East Coast V8 series. Coming to you live tonight from the wonderful Belle in Detroit. And we've got a great track in front of us, great night in front of us. We have 2 sprint races tonight, which will be hard fought out amongst the guys. And really looking forward to seeing what these boys can do. So what we might do first is we might have a quick look at this Belle layout, just so we can get a feel for what we're up for. And, of course, the circuit is not that one. One of my images has changed on me. Not sure what's going on. Just bear with me for a second. We just go to this one. There we go. That's the Belle circuit that we have. Of course, quite well known for starting on the start-finish line. We come down through a sweeping turn 1 into a sweeping turn 2. Very unsafe pit exit that we have coming out of that turn 2. Up over the bridge of the canal, which runs through the middle of the circuit. And quite a bumpy section of the track. Guys are quite well known to come off there as well. Then accelerate down the short straightaway down the turn 3, down the Firestone turn. Then the guys will complete Firestone turn and come down into turn 4, 5 and 6 through Caesar Winds's turn. And then we come across the XM turn and then back across the canal bridge onto turn 7. And then all the way down the strand where we finish up in turn 8 and GM turn. We come through turn 9, Porsche turn, past the casino. Through turn 10, the Bosch turn. We then come around through turn 11, turn 12, Audi, then back onto the strand for 13 and 14, back onto Sunset Drive, and we sweep back around to the finish line. And, of course, the circuit, as I was saying before, believe it or not, is quite well known before its IndyCar layout and is 3.78 kilometres long with 14 turns. The iRacing world record held on the circuit for supercars is held by Brody Kostecki with a 127.98. And, of course, as we have a bit of a look here, I did say, and it's not playing the game for me, so I do apologise. I'll do a little quick change. As I said before, we do have a cricket pitch in the middle of it, so the area I call the cricket ground. And we can see there's a pitch in the middle there. It's actually one of 2 cricket pitches on Belle, so a bit of a fun fact. I haven't got Nato here with me yet to give me some other fun facts. And then, of course, the other fun fact is we have the James Scott Memorial Fountain in the middle. And, of course, James is with us tonight, so we might have a quick look at the championship standings and just see where James is sitting. And at the moment, we have his teammate Adam Briggs leading the series with 831, 5 points behind Blake Warboys from WK&P. Banter Alliance is James Chastanoof in 3rd. And then Jamie McKnight from SSR knocking on the door up in 4th. Damien Johnstone in 5th. Cameron G. Jones from Century Motorsports in 6th. Blake Delaney from Fishy in 7th. Brendan Hobson in 8th. 9th is James Scott, the man who the Memorial Fountain's named after. And in 10th, we've got Craig Schultz, Andrew Dyson, Christian Smart, Loveridge, Morris, O'Shea, Island, Whiting, Dyke, Dawson, Barilla, Dengate, Norris, Ladder, Archer, and Stewart rounds out our top 25. And what we might do now is we might just quickly run through the qualifying grid, as keep an eye on the time with 5 minutes to go. I'll take my time with this one tonight. So on pole, we have Tom Freer from SSR. Great drive from Tom with a 127.56. Very close in behind is his teammate Adam Briggs. And then the big standout in 3rd is Sean McNamara from 95 Sim Sport. with a 127.7. Then we got James Scott from Synergy Sim Racing, Logan Barnett from Send It Sim Sports back again this week, up into 5th. Hayden Harrison from Send It Sim Sports in 6th. Damien Johnstone in 7th. 8 is Jordan Ross from Synergy Sim Racing. Blake Warboys from WK&P back in 9th. O'Shea from simrig.com DPR in 10th. And then we've got Jones, Delaney, Dyke, Maguire, Smart, Coleman, Dengate, Morris, Paul Young in 19th from Banter Alliance. Jamie McKnight, the People's Champion, in the top 20 tonight. Great to see. Craig Schultz from 9.5 Sim Sport in 21st. James Chastanoof, Roy Clark's Scops teammate, sitting in 22nd. Kenneth Ladder in 23rd. Simon Chadwick back this week in 24th. David Kirby from Fishy Motorsports in 25th. Michael Whiting in 26th. And Alan Dawson from Riot Sim Racing in 27th. And Bruce Tannick from Mag and Turbo Motorsport in 28th. Matty Charles from Riot Sim Racing in 29th. Ash Barella from WK&P back in 30th. In 31st, we have Warren Davis from the Banter Alliance. Hayden Norris from Riot Sim Racing. Stephen Varga all the way back in 33rd. Andrew Ritchie knocking on the door behind him in 34th. Bass Motorsports, Matt Stewart sitting in 35th. Michael Brennan from 9.5 in 36th. Roy Clark back again this week in 37th. David Nash in the 911 entry in 38th. Nicholas Lovebridge from Backmarket Racing in 39th. And Matt Whitaker from Calamari Racing as well, back in 40th. Brad Doble from Bogan Racing in 41st, with Andrew Archer sharing the row with him in 42nd from Backmarker Racing. And then we've got Matthew Brunt from Synergy Sim Racing, Darren Shannon from Banter Alliance, Robbie Bradbury from Century Motorsports, with teammate Jason Schaller sharing the row with him. Liam Jensen's a late scratching in 47th. Peter Pavlich in Century Motorsports in 48th. Tyson Hemnar from Autoserve Racing in 49th. Nathan Gore from Sanded Sim Sports in 50th. Jamie Davis in 51st from Autoserve Racing. In 52nd, we've got Nathan Cook. And then we've got Stephen Lanyon from SLS. And then Scotty Perrins rounds out our qualifying times with a 1:33.1 in 54th. Michael Angus from Fishy Motorsports is the first of the rear grid starters. Blake Urquhart from Century Motorsports, the next one. Stefan Lawrence from Riot. And rounding out our 58-car field is Stephen Grumley from SLS Racing. Now, that is a big field, to say the least. And it's going to be some very fun racing, I think. And really looking forward to seeing what everyone can do. And as I said before, we've got 2 sprint races. So start will be very important. Trying not to get caught up in any dramas during the start will be very important. And of course, you want to be able to pick the safety cars, because the cars have been fueled in such a way where the drivers are going to be required to do a stop or try and save enough fuel for 6 laps, I believe, is the fuel strategy that's been set by the race director this evening. And yeah, Will Wilson, it's great to have you on board again, mate. Yeah, that was a very long list. We are running 1 split tonight. We're not running 2 splits. So it's going to be quite full on for the guys. It's going to be a tough start, I think, for most of the lads. And just to top that off, we will have cars starting all the way back around, I think, in the first 2 corners. And don't forget, it's a very tight pit entry and pit exit here at Detroit. And, of course, big shout out to Tracy Warboys and Mary Partridge again. Good to have our regular viewers on board. And, of course, if you are watching, don't be scared, jump in the chat, say good day. I'm running subscriber-only chat, so hopefully we don't get too much spam in it. And the boys are not far away from going green here, as practice is just completed. So if you are on the chat, jump on the chat. Let us know who you think's going to win race 1. And of course, the grid for race 2 will be set from the grid from race 1, the finishing positions from race 1 as well. So fair bit of action for everybody to keep an eye on as we get into this. So we might just take the advantage to have a very quick look at the grid again, just while we wait for these guys to all get on the grid. And of course, we've got Tom Freer, Adam Briggs, Sean McNamara, Logan Barnett, Hayden Harrison, Damien Johnston, Warboys, O'Shea, Jones, Delaney, Dyke, with his teammate Troy Maguire sitting on the row with him. And jump down to the next row. Will Wilson thinking Baldock should win. Baldock's nowhere to be seen, Will. Bit disappointed. Out qualified by Roy Clark again. And Christian Smart, Coleman, Dengate, Morris, Young, McKnight, Schultz, Chastanuth, Ladder, Chadwick, Kirby, Whiting, Alan Dawson, Tannick, Scholes, Barella, Warren Davis. And then we've got Norris, Varga, Ritchie, Stewart, Brennan, Roy Clark, David Nash back in 35-36. As we go to the next row, we've got Loveridge, Whittaker, Doble, Archer, Brunt, Shannon, Bradbury, Scholler, Pavlich, Hamner, Gore, Davis. And Pavlich, Gore, Davis. And then we've got Scotty Perrins, Michael Angus, Blake Urquhart, Stephen Lawrence, Stephen Grumley. And then we've got Sebastian and Richard Barella, who are both our race control and safety car drivers. So we're just about ready to get going here. It is a very difficult couple of corners. We might just quickly, while we're waiting, go to chopper view here. Might even go blimp view. And just try and give everybody a bit of a taste of the size of this grid, as I might just jump down the back a little bit so we can see all the way back at Stephen Grumley. They're all the way back around the corner, almost 2 corners behind the start. That is a long way to go back. So we're about 45 seconds away from going here. And Will Wilson wants me to read the list again. I've done it twice, Will. You got to keep up, buddy. And of course, we aren't too far away from going here. I'm going to put my money on James Scott coming through the pack on these boys. And we might just turn up the sound here, get a bit more car noise involved. And waiting for Blake Urquhart to take to the grid. And once Blake's there, we should be right to go. We're gridding, waiting for the lights. 1 red, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Green flag racing, we're away. It's a great start there from Tom Freer, getting into the corner first. As they all file in behind, looks like everyone's got away reasonably well. Looks fairly clean in the back. And we're coming down into turn 3. Tom Freer, Sean McNamara have to jump on Briggs, Hayden Harrison jumping up as well. And a little bit of shuffling going on down the pack. Looks like McKnight's going backwards. There's been a couple of incidents. We'll have to try and pick up what's happened a bit later. I'll just try and stay here on the leaders for a minute. And Knight's on the radio. I'm not sure what's going on. We'll wait and find out. Tom Freer leading for McNamara, Briggs, Hayden Harrison. As we come into off the strand for the first time into the cricket pitch section. And Freer leading McNamara. And plenty of fighting going on in the background there. Big shout out to Matty Mascoot as well, watching. So Tom Freer is going to lead lap 1. Sean McNamara gets the jump up into 2nd. Adam Briggs losing the spot into 3rd. Hayden Harrison up a spot into 4th. Barnett down into 5th. Warboys into 6th. O'Shea into 7th. Johnston 8th. Jones 9, Delaney 10. That's our top 10 at the moment. Jamie Dyke in 11th. McKnight's still on the radio, so not sure exactly what's going on there. And big shout out to the Hoffy as well. Couldn't race tonight. It's a pity not having the Hoff here. Freya nicely starting to pull away a little bit here. And McNamara trying to hang on. He's dropped back a little bit. McNamara now under all sorts of pressure from from Briggs. Just trying to pick up what's going on. Just bear with me for a minute. So it sounds like we might be under a safety car. And we are under a safety car. So let's go quickly back and just see if we can pick up what happened early on. And I will go to the Supercheap auto replay. Just give me 1 second to work out what happened to James Chastaneuf and Jamie McKnight. Jamie McKnight we'll start with first. So Supercheap auto replay. McKnight, it was put into the wall there. That was pretty big going on. Might just run that one back again. And we might just pick a different camera. We'll just go back to what happened to McKnight. So it looks like the fishy car's got up, looks into the wall. Looks like it might have been Troy Maguire, I'm not sure. But that doesn't look very good for McKnight. And another little tap to finish it off. A little bit unlucky for poor old Jamie there as we go back to live pictures for a second. And we might just quickly have a quick look at what happened to James Chastaneuf. So Chasty coming down, I'd say it's a bit of a delayed reaction. Might also be involved with the incident with McKnight. That fishy car on the two wheels. And it looks like he's bounced back out and got Chasty into the other wall. Chasty's bounced out a little bit back into traffic. And the unusual weight. And it looks like Chasty's okay there. We'll have a look at the other incident of note while we've got some time here. And the other one that I did notice was a Mr. Roy Clark on the Supercheap Auto replay. Roy comes around the corner and tries to avoid Chasty. Does a good job of that. Jamie McKnight coming back out on track, and looks like Roy's just been tapped by his own teammate. Oh, the BRA boys do it to themselves. That's a bit disappointing, that one. I think they need to have a bit of a look and a bit of a talk after that race. Try and work out how they keep out of each other's way. As we might just try one more quick look at that from the chopper cam. So we can see Roy nicely gets around Chasty, nicely avoids McKnight coming back on. Maybe slight little tap from the Century boys, but then it's clipped by his teammate. So the two BAR guys into each other themselves. And I think you're not going to expect too much more from Roy now, Hoffy. And congratulations on your little bub too, Matty, as we jump back to live pictures. Pick up the safety car. He's back in the pits and I've missed the restart. It looks like they're about to go. And we're back underway. Tom Freya, 0.7 ahead of McNamara, Briggs, Harrison, Barnett, O'Shea, Johnston. And only a handful of guys dove into the pits. Warboys was one of them. And Dengate, McKnight, Dawson and Gora were the others. So it could be an interesting little strategy from Warboys there to get the pit stop out of the way under the safety car. Banking on maybe the rest of the race going green. As I've got to get rid of that symbol. Just bear with me for a minute. I'm flying solo tonight at the moment. Matt Stewart's had an incident as well. Not sure. Some penalties are probably going to come soon. Might just have a quick look, see what happened to Matt Stewart. Supercheap auto replay. Should have gone the quicker version. Sorry. Looks like he's got a little bit loose coming over the canal bump like we talked about. And he's gone left, gone right. And a 9.5 car has just gone spun. And another tap. Manages to try and get some control here. The 1.9, Matt Stewart. And that's that. That's not good fun. So Frere's walked away a little bit here. He's got a second lead now for McNamara. McNamara holding off Briggs quite well. And then we work our way back a little bit. Hayden Harrison from Send It Sim Sports. He's doing quite well there as well. And just bear with me as try and don't know how. And hopefully that gets rid of the spam. Big shout out to Mark Duggan as well. Mark, of course, enjoying his holiday, hopefully. And I hope he's having a good time. Coming to us live from Uluru and Kings Canyon. And expecting Dave Baldock to lay down the BAR law in the team debrief, which I think would be quite interesting. And we jump back on Hayden Harrison, Logan Barnett. Of course, he's doing quite well up into fifth. Dylan O'Shea's up 2 spots behind him. And Cameron Jones is doing reasonably well. He's had a good start as well. He's up into 8th. Up 1 spot. Big movers so far. Simon Chadwick up into 14th, up 8 spots with Kenny Latta right behind him. Great little effort there from these guys. Staying out of most of the carnage. And the other big mover, of course, Andrew Ritchie from BAR. He's up into 22nd, up 10 spots. Nicholas Loveridge is up 25 into 25, up 12 spots. So some big movers in the midfield already. As, of course, we'll jump back in. Dylan O'Shea under a lot of pressure from Damien Johnston. You can see the tight, bumpy circuit that we have here. We've had a couple of more incidences with Blake Urquhart up the back. Oh, not another one. Let me just get rid of this spam. Drive-through penalty to Nathan Gore for contact with 134 and 35 car. So that one just coming in from race control. We might just have a quick look at what happened to Blake Urquhart. We might quickly go to Supercheap Auto replay. And I've still got it in slow-mo. And it looks like the right car's come for the dive. Urquhart, teammates hit the wall and he's hit his teammate. That's, yep, Jason Scholler was in front of him there. Go back to live pics. McKnight on the radio again. So a bit of a battle there with Damien Johnson. Sean McNamara is under pressure from Adam Briggs. Now Adam Briggs is caught back up again. So Adam, of course, our championship leader, battling it out here in 3rd spot. The race control being kept very busy. We're only on lap 7 of 33 here so far. As the boys start lap 8. And we might just have a bit look further down in the field. Jamie Dyke, of course, under a bit of pressure from Christian Smart behind. So this group here battling quite well with Blake Delaney in front of him, his teammate. Ben Morris, one of the new 9.5 drivers, doing really well. Great to see. And Stephen Varga, Warboys has been in a crash. We'll go to Supercheap Auto Replay, have a look what happened to Warboys. Trying to get through some of this traffic. Go on the inside line, moved over. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. Probably didn't have the room. Into the cushion. Probably get away with the 0X there. That padded cushion gets you fairly light escape without doing too much damage to the car. Smart was interesting to see. Definitely came out worse for that one, I would probably say. And the other one we saw was Stephen Varga, of course. So Stephen Varga here, sitting on the back of Ash Barella, I think, in front of him. Goes the big lunge and doesn't quite get it done. Into the cushion as well, so he's probably going to get away with that one quite lightly. Bit like playing billiards, bounce it off the cushion. So Tom Freer, our race leader, coming up on some lap traffic already, with Robbie Bradbury in front of him. Sean McNamara 1.7 seconds behind. And Adam Briggs is just behind Tom still. So Sean McNamara having to work very hard here to keep ahead of these 9.5 cars. Let's switch up on with Briggsy, sitting right behind McNamara. Our championship leader. Don't forget, a few of these cars still have to make their second stop. Sorry, make their first stop or try and fuel save to get to the end. So, very interesting scenario to play out here tonight. So the lap traffic in front getting out of the way. Robbie Bradbury nicely moving over. What we might do, we might jump on board with our championship leader, Adam Briggs, and do a lap. Let's crank the volume up. And that was a lap with our championship leader, Adam Briggs. As you can see, this is what we know as the concrete jungle. Plenty of walls, very unique place to race. And of course, this battle here between these two for second and third has allowed Tom Free to get out to a 2.3 second lead in front. And we might just have a little bit look further behind. We've got Dylan O'Shea and Damien Johnston battling away. They're under pressure from Logan Barnett, who's also sitting a bit further back. It's on lap 11 of 33 here. And of course, if you're following along at home, jump in the chat, let us know you're supporting. We'll try and give them an update of how they're getting on. This is a great little battle here. O'Shea all over the back of Johnston. Lap traffic now starting also to become a bit more of a concern for the rest of the field. Might just bring the track map up. And of course, another one being moved out of the way. I think Johnson heading into the pits there, I think. No? And of course, we have a quick look. The track temperature is only 21 degrees, so it's a cold, grippy track for the guys as well. All right, as we come down into turn 3. And not sure what's happened in my subscriber-only chat, but anyway, trying to get rid of them as quick as they come in. So a great little battle pack here, all the way down, of course, Cameron Jones sitting behind them all. Well, it's Big Barry on the chat tonight as well. Big shout out to the Big Baz. Good to have the big fella with us. We believe he's sitting beside a pool deck somewhere. And someone goes off there in the background. Not sure who that was. Might have been one of our lap cars, I think. Or Blake Delaney. We go to Supercheap Auto Replay. That was Blake Delaney off in the background. Of course, Blake was doing reasonably well. Looks like just comes in, pinches a brake, and another one into the cushion. And Hayden Norris is another one who's had an incident as well. Quickly go to Supercheap Auto Replay. He's done exactly the same thing. And bouncing off the cushion. The old pinball wizard be loving this one as we go back to live pictures. And Hayden Harrison, of course, doing a great job in 4th. And the boys have created a little bit of a buffer. Hayden Harrison now is 4 seconds behind Adam Briggs in 3rd, with that great little battle still going on between McNamara and Briggs. But Harrison's now managed to get himself away from Johnson. Johnson, of course, 3 seconds further back with this train with O'Shea, Barnett, Jones. And then another 2.9 seconds behind them is Jamie Dyke, who is keeping off the hard charge, and Christian Smart behind, who rounds out our top 10. Another one off the cushion there. Oh, almost something going on. As we move through. Okay. And bear with me, SDK has decided to play up as well while I'm by myself. Well, let's try and get something back up again that will resemble some live timing. Of course, we're on lap 15, of course. And I've just lost all my hard charge information and pit stops, but that's okay. We'll work this out as we go, guys. So just a recap, as we're on lap 15 to 33, just nearly at the halfway point of the race. Our race leader is Tom Freer, who's ahead of Sean McNamara. And of course, Sean under all sorts of pressure from our championship leader, Adam Briggs. And we just had an incident with Dylan O'Shea, which we'll go and have a look at in a second. Hayden Harrison sitting in fourth. Great effort from Hayden. In fifth, we've got Cameron Jones, Jamie Dyke, Dylan O'Shea, who I said was involved in an incident, but I'm try and recap that one for you. And we've created Supercheap Auto replay. I'd say he's another one into the cushion. Coming down the back straight here. No, just missed the breaking point altogether, but that's okay. It lives for another day. And let's have a look at some of the other battles. Jamie McKnight, of course, he was involved in a few incidents earlier. He's battled his way back up to 30th. And Blake Warboys was one of the ones who did the early pit stop. He's in 26th. And Simon Chadwick is up into 21st. Great drive from Simon. As we keep working our way through, Roy Clark is in 40th spot at the moment. So he's managing to come back after the incident, just getting past Scotty Perrins. And Michael Brennan in front of Roy. Nicholas Loveridge, of course, is in 34th spot. Doing quite well. Steve Grumley started rear of grid, is in 32nd. With Michael Angus, who also started rear of grid just in front of him in 31st. Another one of the Fishy boys. Fishy Motorsport boys. As we see Davis and Shannon go into the pits now. So we're starting to see some pit stops. As McKnight now moves up into 27th, behind Harrison Dengate now. So Harrison Dengate 1.4 seconds up the road. And Ben Morris now, another one in the cushion there, as you just saw. So the old turn 3 catching a lot of drivers out in this heat. The boys doing quite well. Only the one safety car as part of the recap. And as we come down the back here, down along the strand, Dengate doing quite well. Dengate, another one like Warboys, who did the early stop. So I'm interested to see if the early stop strategy pays off here. As we see McNamara now go in. And O'Shea's in as well. So Tom Freer, our race leader, with a 3.8 second gap. I'm assuming that Freer would be trying to fuel save as much as he can here. That would be his game plan. Rather difficult strategy considering the traffic that he's got to deal with in front of him. Next car in course is Stephen Lawrence and then Roy Clark. Hayden Norris with an incident. So there's a little bit going on further down the back. Definitely a few more in the pits now as Davis, Whittaker, Gumley and Doble are in. Tom Freer comes around the last corner. Do we see him head off in to cover? Yep, he's in. So I thought Freer would come in to cover off McNamara. What does Briggs do, our championship leader? Adam Briggs keeps continuing to circulate. Now we're going to see some interesting strategies. Of course, McNamara's come back out in 9th, doing reasonably well. The last lap time before he went in was a 1:28, so this in and out laps are going to be very important at the moment. As Darren Shannon there spun off. Looks like he's got the car going again though, just waiting for a bit of a gap.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We won't argue.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, and that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Belle, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
Freya keeps circulating, doesn't head into the pits. As we're coming around, will he go into the pits, sorry, as it comes around our last corner now. Around the James Scott Memorial Fountain section. And Freya is in. So Briggs is in. So Freya is in 5th. Freya is still 1 second in front of, or 1.5 seconds in front of McNamara. Where does Briggs come out? That's the question we're looking for here. Jamie Dyke goes in as well, allowing Chris Smart to move up a bit more into 2nd place. As we try and jump on, looks like Tom Freya will be past Briggs. Craig Schultz is in as well. Freya goes past. As we jump on, Adam Briggs coming out of the pits. Tucks in behind McNamara and between Delaney. So, very, very big jump there. Bit of light flashing from Briggsy as he tries to work his way through some of this lap traffic. Plenty of it there. Tom Freya's had an accident. We just missed that. Our race leader, or on-track leader. What's happened to Tom? Going around into turn 4, gets a bit loose on the cold tyres, bounces off the cushion. Sitting there, looks like everyone's going to get past him cleanly. Tries to get it rolling, rolls back. Oh no, he's clipped one of the almost took out his teammate. He's clipped one of the centre boys and then he's put one of his teammates into the wall. Oh no, Tom. Oh no, he's on his roof. We're going to see safety car surely from this. Surely from this. The Send It SimSport car parked there. And we just go back to live pictures for a second. Let's jump on with Briggsy here. Christian Smart's into the pits. And the safety car is out on track. Wow. Just wow. We might just have a quick look at that Tom Freya incident again from the chopper cam. And we'll slow that one down. That deserves a second look. So poor old Tom. He's come in into turn 3. Cold tyres, of course, because he's just done his stop. Nicely off the curb there. Nicely accelerates, keeps it off the grass, which is good going. Doesn't appear to get on the grass there. And loses it. He's then into the cushion. He parks it. Does the right thing on the brakes. The 9.5 goes past. Briggs goes past. The Fishy Boys, Riot, the KFC car. Another one of the Fishy Boys. Decides he's got a gap. Gets it started. Rolls a little bit. Just clips the Send It car. Not sure exactly which one it was. Teammate sneaks through. I think that might have been John Stone. It might have been Harrison actually who was in. Not sure if that might be Varga that he's just pinned against the wall. And then he gets it going again. Bounces it off the wall after smoking him up. Slowly gets rolling. Of course, the Send It car in front of him. And then the other Send It car, his teammate, has just catapulted him onto the bonnet of the first Send It car. I don't think that was intentional, but accidents happen, particularly when you come around a blind corner like that. We might just show that one more time at speed. I'll just try and work out who the other car was involved in that. I think it may have actually been Logan Barnett. So he might just try and do this at speed from Logan's view. From the nose. Nothing intentional in that. It's just one of those accidents. Quite well known to happen on this circuit. As we'll go back to live pictures. Hopefully still under the safety car, not like last time. So, as Mark Dargan says in the chat, that was ugly. Very, very ugly. Going to take a little bit to unwind all this. Of course, this has now put Sean McNamara as our race leader. The 9.5 SimSport boss takes control of the field with Adam Briggs, our championship leader, sitting behind in second. Blake Delaney from Fishy Motorsports up into the top three. Michael Whiting rounds out the sushi train there in fourth. Damien Johnstone in fifth. Sixth is Cameron Jones from Century SimSports. Christian Smart in seventh. Dylan O'Shea from simrig.com DPR is sitting in eighth. Ninth is Simon Chadwick from 9.5 SimSports. So 2 9.5ers in the top 10. I'm sure Sean will be pretty happy with that. And then we move down into Jamie Dyke in Fishy in the top 10 as well. Craig Schultz in 11th. Blake Warboys with the early pit stop now as when he finds himself in 12th. Harrison Dengate, his teammate from WK&P in 13th, sitting behind him. Ben Morris from 9.5 in 14th. Logan Barnett sitting in 15th. Stephen Varga in 16th. So these boys have obviously managed to get rolling a bit after that horrible accident that we saw. So definitely plenty going on, guys. We've still got another 12 laps to go. So anything can happen here still. As you saw, it doesn't take much when you get into the concrete canyons and blind turns. Doesn't take much for a big accident to happen. And just waiting now for the safety car to pull off. So, as Richie comes around the cricket pitch section in the safety car and accelerates away, we're about to go green again. As we jump on board with Sean McNamara, now taking control of the race. And we're about to go green flag racing. That's Sean's leisure, holding him a long way as we come around turn 14. He's off now. We are green flag racing. So, Sean McNamara, our race leader. Adam Briggs behind, our championship leader. Blake Delaney in third. Michael Whiting and Johnstone. Johnstone getting past Whiting. Not sure what's happened to Whiting there. Whiting's dropping back. Looks like he got a bad exit over the bridge on turn 3. Turn 2, sorry. Coming down now. Left out wide. Whiting drops back to 10th. Of course, these boys are all battling. Delaney in third. Sitting behind. But Briggs keeping all the pressure on. Sean McNamara, our race leader. Definitely a lot to unpack at the end of this one, I reckon, for everybody. As Christian Smart's now had an incident, so I'm not sure where that one's happened. So Smart's on the radio. We might see if we can jump in, Noah, and have a look on the Supercheap Auto replay. And speed that up. So coming down, Smart gets a tap from the, looks like Dylan O'Shea, I think, spins him around, leaving Christian Smart facing in the wrong direction in a very bad spot on the circuit, in the blind corner. Christian having to wait for everyone to go through as we go back to live picks. McNamara and Delaney here, starting to pull away a bit. Sorry, McNamara and Briggs starting to pull away from Delaney out to a 1 second gap. But Briggs keeping all the pressure on. And Cameron Jones, he's trying to put the move here on Damien Johnstone. No, sorry, not Johnstone, sorry. On Delaney, getting the job done. So there's a few battles everywhere to look at the moment. As we're on 10 laps to go. Might just jump back down to this battle for 17, 18, 19. Where we've got Matthew Scholes from Wright Simsport under battle here. Ash Barella getting past him. And Barella getting the job done. Of course, behind them is Warren Davis from Banter. And Nicholas Loveridge as well. So plenty happening here. As we're too wide behind. It looks like Davis getting past Richie. A few of the BAR boys having a bit of a battle amongst themselves. Jamie McKnight looking to get in the battle now as well. And Adam Briggs has gotten past Sean McNamara. We could see that was going to happen. So our championship leader has now taken the lead from Sean McNamara in second. Damien Johnson's a further 1.8 back, and another second back to Jones. Delaney in fifth, O'Shea in sixth, Chadwick in seventh, Dyke in eighth, Whiting in ninth, Schultz in 10. And we jump on with Schultz. Schultz is under a bit of pressure here. Or putting a bit of pressure on Whiting in front of him. It looks like it's settled down. Might jump up to Simon Chadwick. Chadwick missing a bonnet there with Jamie Dyke all over behind him. So Dyke knocking on the door to try and look for a way past. This is the battle for 7th and 8th. Might just have a quick jump on to Kenny Ladder. Kenny Ladder has been involved in something, the Synergy Sim racer. We'll have a quick look on the replay to see what's happened to him. Jump onto the Supercheap Auto replay. Kenny's car looking a bit second-hand already. And one of the Banter Alliance boys behind him. No, Ken's just missed the corner. Looks like he's had a bit of gear trouble there. Definitely bounced off the cushion. Gets it going again, but may have an engine problem. And we'll jump back to live picks, of course. Simon Chadwick under all sorts of pressure from the Fisher car behind. And Dylan O'Shea in front. So these guys have got a great little battle on here. And yes, Will, the Vets 360 show will be on this week, on every Friday night now during this Vets season. So I'm sure you'll be able to listen to the dulcet tones of Dave Baldock once again. And we just jump up. Adam Briggs, of course, he's now got out to an 8.7 second, sorry, 0.8 second lead from McNamara. McNamara's hanging on. Doing the best he can here, I think. And Damien Johnson's 2 seconds behind McNamara. He's going to jump back on with Dyke. This battle's side by side here. And it looks like Dyke's going to get the job done. No. Chadwick hangs on. Still too wide. We're coming around the cricket pitch section. Hanging on. Nice move there. Gets the job done, Jamie Dyke. So Jamie Dyke's next target in front now, of course, is Dylan O'Shea. Might just jump back a little bit further. Warboys has got himself back up into 11th. So the early stop there not paying off for him as much as what it probably should have. Probably the second safety car probably crushed the opportunity of that earlier stop. And just might jump on with Michael Whiting. Michael Whiting now under pressure from Craig Schultz. There's a few battles everywhere we look as we go through this pack. And of course, well, that great battle, Dave Coleman, Logan Barnett going backwards. Not sure what's happened to Logan. Looks like he's clipped a wall there. Car's looking a bit second hand. Very narrow looking ZB. And we jump back up. Michael Whiting, of course, who was under a bit of pressure from Craig Schultz behind. And we've got a drive-through penalty for Dylan O'Shea. The contact with Christian Smart, which was that incident we saw earlier. And we keep tracking down here. We might just quickly jump up. Blake Delaney's under a little bit of pressure from Dylan O'Shea, of course. Dylan now with the drive-through. And peels off and goes in, which frees up Delaney. 5 seconds behind, Cameron Jones in front. But Jamie Dyke 1 second behind. But of course, we've got this battle here with Chadwick still in the top 10. Simon Chadwick getting away from where he was. And a very public apology from Tom Frere in the chat to Hayden Harrison. He thought he was clear. Second brain fade in 2 weeks. So that's fantastic. That's what I love about this East Coast series is the level of respect amongst everybody. Michael Whiting's just had a crash, sorry. Trying to put out spammers as well. What's happened to Michael? What's happened to Mr. Fishy? Gone wide, found the cush. Another one of the pinball wizards. Going back to Tom Frere, yeah, that was, I love this series, how, you know, everyone's a gentleman racer. You know, everyone's happy to apologise. Everyone puts their hand up when they make a fault, but everyone also wants everyone else to race hard as well, which makes some great viewing and makes for some great motorsport, which is why we all come back every week. So Warboys has now worked his way up into the top 10. And of course, Michael Whiting is still 9th. Schultz, Chadwick, Dyke, Delaney, Jones, Johnson, McNamara, and Briggs is now out to a 2nd for McNamara. And Stephen Varga under pressure now. As Warboys tries to work his way up the inside. Go away. And Warboys gets the job done on Varga. Yeah, Warboys in 10th. Varga, sorry, gets the job on Morris, I think. So Varga making a charge through the field here. Wily old veteran that he is. Story has it that he has retired from veterans to concentrate on East Coast. So, pretty big move, considering Stephen's one of the front runners in vets. But proving he's got the pace here, running in 11th, keeping War Boys under pressure. Ben Morris from behind, of course, from 9.5 Simsport. You can see how close those guys get to the wall there. So on lap 30 or 33, might jump back up the front. Damien Johnstone's now under a bit of pressure from Cameron Jones. This is a battle for third. It could be Yuzu too, Will. It might not just be them, it could be me. I think I said it to subscriber only, but they might have got past me. It's a great little battle here. Johnstone hanging on. Going to jump back to Varga. Varga's under attack here. Or attacking, sorry. Cars in front. Might stay with this pack for a little bit. A big shout out too to Luke from Race Stars TV. Absolute consummate professional doing this all by himself. Oh! Stengate has just driven Varga straight into the wall. Well, appears to. We might just get a replay of that. There's a few other crashes involved here. This is just going off tap. We might just go to the replay on this one. Dengate looking up the inside. Yeah, Dengate getting loose on the curb there. It's just pushed him straight into the wall. Collected up a few others along the way. That was some hot racing in that one, though. We'll go back to live pictures now and try and find out what's going on. Johnstone's still under pressure as well. Cameron Jones right up behind him. Just trying to determine what's going on. I don't see Barella on track, so I don't think the safety car will come out with 5 to go anyway. So, quick recap. Briggs, our race leader, is about 2 seconds ahead of Sean McNamara. He's 3 seconds ahead of Damien Johnstone. So this is our battle here for third and fourth. Don't forget too that the finishing positions in this race will set the grid for the next race. So we've got 2 sprints tonight, 2 33-lap sprints. And might just jump back a little bit. Have a look at Simon Chadwick here and Blake Delaney. These two boys are fairly close as well. Oh, another tap. He's going to get away with this. Looks like he does. Delaney gets it pulled up. It's allowing Schultz to get involved in this argument now. Delaney gives a little bit of a shove back by the looks as we go too wide into the next corner. This is a tough part of the circuit to be playing too wide as we fall back into single file. Of course, Chadwick not giving up here. Looking for a bit good drive. Gets a reasonable drive off the corner there. Not much in this. Oh. And Chadwick gets up the inside of Delaney there. Schultz probably having a bit of a look at this as well. And oh, an interesting dive. Delaney gets it pulled up. Some very interesting racing going on in this part. These boys having a ding-dong battle. Schultz now wants a bit of the action. As, of course, we've started the white flag race. So he might quickly jump back up to Damien Johnson for the battle for third. Looks like he's got away a bit from Jones. He's opened that one back up again, so he might jump back on with Schultz quickly. Just to see how these guys end up down into turn 3. Oh, going to dive up the inside. Door's been shut on him. Schultz gets in, goes deep, costs him. I think that one's over and said and done. As we might jump back on, if we can, if I get the right camera. Jump back on with our race leader. Adam Briggs coming around the cricket pitch section. Not just our race leader, our championship leader. Now this is going to be some big points for our championship leader here as well. Our second place driver is Sean McNamara, as we can see in the background. As Adam comes around the final turn, he's going to take the checkered flag for race 1. Goes to Adam Briggs. Sean McNamara comes home in second. Third, Damien Johnson holds off the fast-charging Cameron Jones. Damien Dyke's now our next person to come across. Jamie gets some good points in 5th. Jump back on with Chadwick. Chadwick comes across in 6th, 7th to Delaney. Schultz is going to have to hang on to 8th. Jump on with Dengate. Dengate, side by side, just gets home in front of Nicholas Loveridge. Ash Barella in the top 10. Nose missed off the car. That's a turn up for the books. Didn't expect that one. That is a fantastic result. Dengate, of course, home in 11th. 12th was Loveridge. McKnight with the comeback drive of the century in 13th. Matty Scholes in 14th. 15th goes to James Chastanet. 16th to Dylan O'Shea. Andrew Ritchie brings it home in 17th. 18th to Jamie Dyke. 19th for Andrew Archer. Matty Brunt in 20th. 21st is Michael Angus, Michael Whiting, Matty Stewart, Dawson, Brennan, Doble, Warboys all the way back in 27th. Not sure what's happened to Warboys there, but he's all the way back in 27th. So not sure whether something happened or ran out of fuel. Let's just see if I see his name pop up somewhere. Not 100% certain there. Sorry. Just leave that one as is. And just wait and see if someone comes in to have a chat to us. And just while we wait for that, we might just pop to a quick 30-second commercial.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We won't argue.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small. And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Belle, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
And we'll start off by talking to our race winner and championship leader, Adam Briggs. Well done, Adam.
Hey, cheers. Thanks, John. Yeah, commiserations to Tom. I think he had the pace in quality, he had the pace in the race, and I think he just a little bit of iRacing ice grass kind of got him out a little bit, which is, anyway, it happens. But yeah, commiserations to Tom. But yeah, it was a good race.
Oh, it was fair. A lot of action everywhere. I think you've sort of lucky out in front. You've missed a fair bit of it, to be honest.
That's the aim on a tight track, yeah. Keep out of the trouble.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And anyone you want to give a shout out to? I've got you.
Yeah, JK Signs, obviously. So Smith and Sons. Wave Runner. Poddy's Mechanical. And Dave Oliver Photo as well. But yeah, so the guys at SSR. So there's a lot of blokes putting in a lot of work in setups, and Tom has worked hard this week. So thank you to those guys.
Yeah, big shout out to Tom too for jumping in the YouTube chat and putting out a big apology to Hayden as well, which shows a lot of respect amongst the boys, which I really enjoy about this series.
Yeah, Tom's a class act, so he's a great bloke.
And we might leave you here, and I'll bring in our second place man, Sean McNamara. Macca, congratulations on a hard-fought P2.
Yeah, cheers, John. Appreciate it, mate. It was a good battle with Briggsy for there, and a bit of a shame for Tom. But it was a belter.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was an interesting one. These boys didn't dive in early on that first safety car. It was quite an interesting strategies going around everywhere.
Yeah, I think I was the first. I think pitted just before the first safety car, or the second safety car. Sorry.
Yeah, second one. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a few different strategies. I think the Fishy boys were fuel saving, and I think that gave Bruce and I a bit of a break after that last safety car because we could get on with it. But yeah, it was good.
It was good. It was good to watch, and it's good having the 9-5 boys in. I think Schultze and Chadwick had a great battle there back in 6th and 8th with Delaney there for the last few laps.
Yeah, I think we had 4 in the 10, so it's good for those boys. They're coming on strong, which is nice. So we'll see how the next one pans out anyway.
And anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Mate, sponsors as always, 9-5 boys. You guys for the broadcast and a great league. It's really good fun to be a part of. Briggsy and Damien as well for the battle and racecraft simulations. I'm going to stumble here. Bloody hell. RSW graphics, sorry. Cutting edge tracks and racing ears, custom ears protection. God, how bad's that?
That's right. And what are your thoughts for race 2?
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of play with the setup. Adam looked a lot more comfortable through turn 1, 2, and 3. So we'll have a little play there and see if we can't tune it up and eyes forward and see how we go.
Oh, good luck, mate. And I'll leave you there. I'll bring Damien in. We'll have a quick chat to him as well. Damien, congratulations on P3, mate. That was a very hard-fought one for you.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky once again. So, pitted early. Cam was coming again, so I always have a mega battle with Cam, but another lap or two, it would have probably been a different story.
Oh, it was an epic battle between the two of you, to be honest. It was a slightly bigger battle, a little bit behind with Chadwick, Delaney and Schultz, which sort of took the interest in the last few laps. But yeah, you two boys, it's hard to call who was going to get there in the end.
Yeah, no, it's always a good race with Cam, and unfortunate for Tom, he's got some good pace the last 2 weeks and a couple of mistakes, but we'll push through and he'll come back.
Oh, look, he's a class act, Tom. So definitely expect to see him back up the front again. And of course, he's going to have an epic battle now coming from the back of the grid. So it'll be interesting to see how much he can work his way up through everybody.
Yeah, he'll do it. He'll be right.
And anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Just a couple of our sponsors, Wave Runner, Posies, JK, Signs, and all the boys at Synergy, doing some mega work lately, so keep it going.
Yeah, of course, these boys quite an outfit with a few of your guys racing in the Logitech Pro Series as well, which is back again next week. I think you're in it as well, Adam. Had a memory? Am I wrong?
Nah.
No, I'm wrong. Yeah, there you go. My memory's shocking these days. I'm getting old. That's why I do vets with Sean. Soon. Yeah. So race 2, we've got a new server, so that's going to be fun. I'm going to have to try and keep people entertained while I switch servers and flying solo. And of course, I'll probably let you boys get yourselves organised and have a break before we get into the next one. So wish you guys good luck for that. And yeah, looking forward to watching another 33 laps of great battling.
Thanks, John. We'll hopefully see you again.
No worries, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, guys. So, as I said, we've got to change servers. We'll try and work that one out as we go. Having fun by myself tonight. Nathan Brown was going to come join me after he finished his training, but he's not in, so we'll just keep rolling along. And we've course, might just have a quick look while we can. And just bear with me for 1 second. We will have a quick look when we can to of that start again. So, of course, we only saw that start from the very beginning, of course. And Jamie McKnight's jumped into the chat as well. How are you, Jamie? You're floating around, mate. You want to jump in the green room? Come have a chat to me if you want. One way to keep busy. Yeah, as I said, we might quickly, and of course, it's not going to let me do that. So I'm out of luck with that one because we had SDK drop. So anyway, we will continue on. So yeah, a couple of big accidents in the middle of all that. And yeah, I just feel for Vargs. Got sort of fed the line into the wall there, and he also got caught out a few. And it was interesting how a few of the boys coming down into that bottom corner got caught out there bouncing off the curb, which sort of got quite a few people undone. Might just quickly go back. Let's cut off an instance of Scotty Perrins. So we might just have a look what happened to Scotty while we can on the Supercheap Auto replay. So Scotty, of course, one of the lap traffic cars on track. So obviously stopping, I think, to let a few of the faster boys pass, keeping out of their way. Probably not the easiest spot to stop and let them through. Manages to get around himself, though. And, of course, in the chat, Jamie McKnight doesn't feel sorry for Vargs. Yeah, poor Scotty. Kenny Ladder had an incident as well, so I'm not sure what happened to Kenny. I think his car was pretty beaten up there. As you can see, no pace with one of the Banter Alliance boys coming up behind him. That's right, we did see that one. He did go into the wall, so not sure. It looked like it might have been a bit of gear failure as we get spammed again. Definitely getting quicker at deleting it. Just another look at the Stephen Varga incident. Might have another onboard look at that one. Might come a bit closer down to gearbox. Yeah, Vargs, of course. As you can see, there was pretty much carnage, getting a bit of another push along. Not sure which way Vargs is facing there, but anyway, gets it going again. And we might just have another look. Matty, have another look at the Chris Smart incident with Blake Urquhart, I think it was. Slight little, sorry, Dylan O'Shea, sorry, a nice little tap there. So definitely the start of the cricket pitch out the front of the casino was the place to be tonight. A very tough race. And of course, we had a general battle coming all the way up and through. And the second session is going up now. So what we might do is we might quickly go to an SCA ad. And I'll be back in about 60 seconds, hopefully.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Belle, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.
And of course, we're still just waiting for the circuit to load back in as we are loading into our second session now. And of course, a bit of action with the race control still. And as this server goes up, we'll get back into the action. Once I got live pictures, I'll cross back. So a couple of comments in the chat. Mark Duggan, frustration times 100. Of course, Jamie McKnight was meatballed by Troy Maguire on lap 1, turn 3. And he managed to play back on and get the job done. Of course, there was no malice by Troy. And of course, as we said, it was another one where it bounced off the curbs and made the most of what was going on. And of course, the Hoff is calling it hell at the Belle. That pretty much summed up race 1, mate. Summed it up well. So we are nearly loaded in here. Second session. Bear with us. And so this race, of course, the grid will be set from the finishing positions of race 1. So I'm assuming that may or may not include some of the penalties, but we'll work that one out when we get going. As we go back to live pictures. I get my other screen set up. So we're good to go. Of course, big shout out, it says Porter Luke from Race Stars TV. He does this by himself all the time, quite regularly. And not the easiest job in the world. So definitely getting an appreciation for more what Luke does. Of course, Mark Duggan, my regular co-commentator, off enjoying a well-deserved holiday. Watching in tonight from Kings Canyon. Of all the places, he'd been hopefully enjoying himself and having a blast. Well-deserved holiday, mate. So everyone's starting to come back into the server. So we've got a 15-minute practice session here. So it'll be interesting to see. Warboys appear to have finished well down the order, so I'm not sure what had happened there. Yeah, so we'll be looking to see where he comes in. So I think there's a few boys in this grid that are going to have a fair bit of work to do. And as we heard before, Tom Frere will be well down towards the back. And we are basically just running through this practice session here, and we'll be up and running shortly. And of course, Nathan Brown, my other sidekick from season 1, is hopefully going to come and join me for race 2. I've been hanging on to one fun fact, waiting for him to rock in tonight. As this Detroit circuit has a very unique fun fact that I want to share. And we're not talking the James Scott Memorial Fountain. So, of course, we're making fun of one of the drivers in our series, James Scott. But James Scott Memorial Fountain actually got to do with the fact that the Detroit, of course, was the motor city, production city of Ford and other motor vehicles. And back in the 1930s was the financial hub of the United States, was bigger than what New York is or was at that time. So lots of wealth and opulence, and James Scott was the son of a family of developers, and he was left with the family money, and when he passed away, he bequeathed it all to the Detroit City Council on the grounds that they created a park and built a fountain with his name on it. So that's pretty much what they did. Which hence the James Scott Memorial Fountain. So, bit of a fun fact there. And yes, there are 2 cricket pitches, actual cricket pitches on the ground as well. So, good to see cricket being played in the States. Probably mainly from subcontinent immigrants, but yeah, it's quite a popular sport. As we're sort of watching a few of these boys just circulate and do a few laps. Yeah, I've got to agree with you too, Will. I don't know where I pulled that one out from. It's not my everyday vocabulary. And of course, Nathan Brown has now been held up at training, so I'm on my own again for the second race, but we'll be right. We managed the first one. Of course, I didn't get the last opportunity to ask Nathan for training. Was the water in the pool warm? Of course, he's at soccer training, but of course we all know that's code word for diving practice. So we're about 5.5 minutes away from starting this second race. And we might just take the time to quickly go to another commercial break. And I'll get myself organised, psyched and ready to go.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Belle, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.
And we're back. And Matty McMillan's come to join me from down at Race Control. How was race 1, mate?
Very busy, mate. Very busy.
Very busy.
Yes.
Yes, and I saw you had a bit of a queue lining up post-race as well.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yes. So, of course, we're running...
Well, it's that type of track, really, isn't it?
It is. It is. It is. And I'm just going to answer a few of my critics here. Yes, Hoffy, I'm still suffering from podomitis. And we're still arguing, Will Wilson's still arguing that it's Hoffy in front of the Winnebago in the Supercheap ad going by the name of Kevin. So, of course, it was a good drive from Adam Briggs, but Sean McNamara kept him honest. So, who are you thinking for this one, Matty?
Well, I mean, he kept their nose clean, those three. I was a little bit disappointed in our leader that majored everybody. It was Tom, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just touch that grass coming into turn 4.
Yeah, it was very, very only just. Like, you're talking millimetres, if he did.
I've done it.
Yeah. Of course, we know it's not the easiest track to race on. Young Harrison, and Vargs down on the bottom of the strand there.
Yeah, I think Harrison might find himself in a bit of strife over that one.
Oh, definitely. You could definitely see that one happening. And another one who got it right on the curbs, of course, was Troy Maguire into McKnight early on. McKnight with a great comeback, I thought.
Yes, he's kept his nose clean through most of that race too. Him, and look out for Ash Barella too. He kept his nose clean in that last race. I think he was up 15 spots. Is that?
That's correct, yeah. Up in the top 10. So I had him sitting on the hard charge, not the hard charge, on the driver of the day list at the moment with a question mark against his name. So he's one who's made the list to keep an eye out for in race 2. So we've got about another minute and a half here to go before we get going.
Is this a quali or is this just a practice?
Just a practice. Practice and then straight into the grid. The grid should have been set between races. Mm-hmm. And we should be right to rock and roll once we get going. So, of course, there's going to be some very quick drivers down the back as well, which we're looking forward to see how they go. Like Tom Free will be starting down towards the back. Varga will be down a little bit as well.
Yeah, Vargas was quite animated in the race control.
Oh, Vargas is always animated. Of course, it's always good to have Stephen Varga. It drops into the it's race control for vets. Drops into the Vets Drivers Lounge on a Friday night, which we run here on WK&P TV for the split 3 boys in vets. As practice comes to an end, so we're about to go to the grid. So we'll just wait for the game to click over, and we will go straight and have a look at the grid. See how it's all going to pan out.
Well, I'll pop back to race control and I'll call back in and say g'day after we get started.
No worries. Thanks, Matty. We'll speak to you soon, mate. And we jump onto the grid. So, of course, starting on pole, we have Adam Briggs, Sean McNamara, Damien Johnson, Cameron Jones, Jamie Dyke from Fishy Motorsport in 5th, Chadwick, Delaney in 7, Schultz in 8, Morris in 9, Ash Barella, as we talked about before, in 10, Dengate in 11, 12 is Loveridge. And move on to the next row. We've got Jamie McKnight all the way back up into 13th, Matty Scholes in 14, Chasty in 15, Dylan O'Shea in 16. On the next row, we've got Andrew Ritchie and Jamie Davis. Andrew Archer back into 19th. In 20th, we've got Matty Brunt. In 21st, we've got Michael Angus from Fishy Motorsports alongside the boss, Michael Whiting from Fishy Motorsports in 22nd. 1-9, Matt Stewart in 23rd. First of the Riot Boys in Alan Dawson in 24th. After that, we've got Michael Brennan from 9.5 Sim Sports. The Bogans Racing's Brad Doble. And beside, next row back, we've got Blake Warboys from WK&P with a hard charging, fired up Stephen Varga in 28th from Synergy Sim Racing. Matty Whitaker in 29th, Stephen Grumley in 30th. Stefan Lawrence from Riot Sim Sports in 31st, Jason Scholler in 32nd. Peter Pavlich from Century Motorsports in 33rd, Hayden Norris in 34th, David Nash 35. The Banter Alliance Scott driver Roy Clark in 36. And then in 37, we've got Hayden Harrison, who has having a sensational first race and got involved in a tangle which wasn't his fault. Century Motorsports, Robbie Bradbury in 38, Blake Urquhart in 39th from Century Motorsports. Christian Smart, another one caught up in another fast car caught up in someone else's incident back in 40th from Synergy Sim Racing. BAR's Paul Young all the way back in 41st. Logan Barnett from Senate Sim Sports, another one of the quick guys down the back here from incidents in race 1 in 42nd. Warren Davis in 43rd from Banter Alliance. Scotty Parents from Peggy Performance Racing in 44th. Davey Coleman in 45th from Fishy, alongside teammate Dave Kirby in 46. Kenny Ladder, 47, 48. Shannon And we keep coming down the list. We've got Nathan Gore, Tom Freer, the man who was leading race 1 back in 50th, Bruce Tannick 51st, Tyson Haminar 52, 53 and 54 are our safety cars. As we go back to the race, jump back on with Adam Briggs. And we might just start with the chopper cam. No, we'll go TV1. Not really the best TVs for starting on this track. I apologise for those. I need to probably work on these camera angles a bit better. But this race is about to go green. Oh, starting then. Try this view. Here we go. Lights are about to go.
Green flag.
We're away with Adam Briggs. Sean McNamara gets the jump. Sean McNamara gets the jump around. We've got a crash in the back between Tannick, Gore, Perrins, Hemnar. We'll come back to that one a bit later. That's the voice right up the back. Cracking start here from Sean McNamara. Adam Briggs tucking in behind. Damien Johnstone in third there. Let's try and get rid of another spammer. Sorry for that. And Richie Barella's jumped to pits, so I'm assuming he's left pits. I've got a feeling we might have a safety car. In fact, I will jump back. No, he's back in the pits. We'll keep going here. As we continue on, McNamara leading Adam Briggs. And Damien Johnstone, Simon Chadwick, Cameron Jones, Schultz, Dyke. So big mover and Chadwick up 2 spots there. Schultz is up 2 spots as well. Delaney's gone down 2 spots. McKnight's up into the top 10. It's not sure what's going on. I think the safety car has come out. As we might just jump to Barella and see what's happening. Safety car is on track, so we'll get the yellow flag button clicked. There is, of course, the Supercheap Auto safety car, sponsored by the Pool Guys as well. Take a look after our sponsors, of course. Give them a shout out. It was Big Barry from the Pool Guys telling us he was sitting beside a pool. Adam Briggs is the first guy to duck into the pits here. Wondering whether this is strategy. Of course, Johnson had gotten the jump on him. So McNamara, Johnson. Briggs is the only one that's gone in, which is an interesting roll of the dice. So McNamara is still there, picking up the safety car. We might take the opportunity just to jump back and just try and have a look what happened at the start there, real quickly on the Supercheap Auto replay. So yeah, parents, a few of the boys all caught up. So looks like it was Nathan Gore in there as well. So the track was blocked. David Kirby was involved in something as well. So this is coming down into turn 3. So track already looks a bit blocked there, the way they're all pulling up. So that was, of course, Dave Kirby. So definitely maybe safety car might have been called fairly early there. That's why they were all backing off, I would say. Doesn't appear to be anyone stuck on track. So I might just go back to live pictures so I don't miss the start like we did in race 1. So McNamara circling around behind the safety car. And as I said earlier, Adam Briggs has stopped. He's come back out in 23rd. Fair way down the order. And good opportunity to have a look at some of the big movers. Kenny Ladder, up 7 spots already. So that's a fair effort from Kenny. And another one of our big movers, of course, is Blake Urquhart's up 7 spots as well in the Century Motorsports car. That's a good start from Blake. Tom Freer, one of the hard chargers down the back. He's already made 5 spots. So Tom's already managed to get himself past Robbie Bradbury, Gore, and a few of the others. Michael Angus now rolling the dice and going in to stop. So Angus falling back down the order. And we're racing though, which is a bit of a surprise. I've been caught out again, sorry. McNamara leads us down into turn 3 from Johnstone, Chadwick. So Johnstone's managed to get past Briggs, who went in early for the stop. As we come through, coming around onto the strand for the 3rd time in this race. The 9.5 Sim Sports boss, Sean McNamara, leads the field from Damien Johnston, Chadwick. Jones, a few battles a bit further back. Dylan O'Shea under a bit of pressure from James Chastanus and Scholes. Blake Delaney and Morris under pressure. As might jump back on with Cameron Jones as he looks to put a move up the inside here. Bit of a touch. They managed to go too wide. Not the easiest part as we come through the cricket pitch. Come through the final turns around the James Scott Fountain. And Chadwick managed to get back in front. And of course, these boys allowing room to continue moving forward. Stephen Vargas now involved in another incident. We might just quickly jump away from this battle to have a quick look. It's coming up on Doble from Bogan Racing, gets up the inside. There's a car stopped in the middle there. So that's... he's collected one of the 9.5 boys by the looks, so not sure who that was. Michael Brennan, I think. Roy Clark might have been the car that had stopped. We might just double check that. No. Roy Clark's involved in a separate incident with a nice little tap from behind, coming through turn 2. Not the ideal spot to be stopped, Roy. And we might quickly go back to live pictures so I can keep abreast what's going on. McNamara, Chadwick's under all sorts of pressure still from Jones. Another little tap there. And it looks like Jones has gotten past. There's another battle back here with Ben Morris and Schultz. As you can see, we're 2 or 3 wide there. Ashbarella and Dengate at the back of this group here. So, great little battle pack. All the boys swapping paint. There's a big dive of the pits between Stuart Gumley and Nash and Coleman, so I'm not sure what's going on. I think we might be under another safety car. We have a request for tow from Scotty Perrins. So not sure what's happened. There's been a big pile up at the back here involving Andrew Ritchie. We might just have a quick look at that. As we can see the end of it, I think Andrew Ritchie was involved a little bit earlier. And I might have been involved with Kenny Ladder as well. Andrew Ritchie a bit slow coming out of the turn there. And chops down a little bit coming into the corner. That's piled everybody up. Bit of a bash, another one into it. One of the Fishy boys. One of the Riot boys. One of the Century boys. Andrew's had more hits than the Beatles. Roy Clark's been involved in another incident. He's probably hit Andrew Ritchie just for the sake of it as well. And he comes around. And I was joking, Roy. Roy finishes off his teammate. Okay, I'm just going to quickly check now. Jump back to live pictures. See where Richie Barella is. Looks like he's not out at the moment. Or is he? McNamara is circulating. Big dive into the pits from Bellany, Barella, Dengate. Just going to double check. Safety car is on the circuit. So we are under yellow. I'll try and keep up. Sorry, guys. A lot goes on this track. There's people happening everywhere. Trying to keep abreast of it all. Trying to keep everyone in the picture. So lapped cars getting the wave around at the moment. And Stephen Varga goes by the safety car. Ball Boys is into the pits now. So we might just quickly throw up the pit lap so people can have a quick look. So we can see most of them are coming in on lap 4, but the boys at the front, McNamara are still circulating. So, of course, the Panther boys aren't going to let me get away with saying Andrew Ritchie had more hits than the Beatles. And Sean McNamara now picks up the safety car. So we're in for a real strategy race here. It's another one of the Century boys. Oh, he faked it. Oh, Cameron Jones does the dummy fake for the pits there. That created a bit of interest. As we continue to circulate behind the Supercheap Auto safety car. And lap 7 here. Another lapped car getting a wave around. Matty Scholes has dived into the pits this time by. So the lead car of our pitters now is Mr. Jamie Dyke. Let's get the position map up on the chart as well. So Jamie coming under the back of the train at the moment. So that's our lead pit stop car with Blake Delaney, Jamie McKnight sitting back in 15th now with the pit stop. And then in front of them in 12th, we've got Urquhart, who's up 27 spots. Scholler is up 21. Doble up 16. Stephen Lawrence is up 22. Jamie Davis 10. In 7th, we've got Matthew Brun, who's up 13 spots. Ben Morris is 6th. Schultz is 5th. Simon Chadwick is 4th. With Cameron Jones in front of him in 3rd. Damien Johnston in the lead SSR car in 2nd. And our race leader, of course, is the one and only Sean McNamara. So all the boys sitting behind the safety car at the moment. Expect possibly to see the safety car head in this lap, maybe. We've still got some lap cars going past. As you can see, Belle Isle, the concrete jungle that it is, always delivers. So for those following along at home, Tom Frere's up 30 spots in the 20th, including the pit stop. Sorry, hasn't pitted, sorry. Let's come around the last turn now. It looks like we're going to go another lap under the safety car. So the strugglers down the back. Andrew Ritchie's got the car going again, as we can see, using his fast repair. Roy Clark in front of him, trying to pick up the back of the train here. In front of Roy, we've got Peter Pavlich, another one trying to catch up to the back of the train. And Darren Shannon from BAR, he's about to latch on. So, very frantic, busy first few laps here, and everything to play for. Sean McNamara, our race leader. As you can see, Jamie Dyke pitted on lap 5, so Jamie's pitted. And that's the leader of our pitters with McKnight behind him. So the very crafty People's Champion sitting in 15th. James Chastaneath in 16th. And we might just chuck up the pit strategy graphic as well. So there we go. We can see what it looks like there. So the top 12 cars, Mark, have not stopped yet. So yeah, some very interesting big movers and shakers there. Some guys who are not normally used to being up in the top 10. So it'll be interesting to see how they go with the quicker boys hunting them down. So it's going to be quite a hectic restart here, I think. Richie Barella, of course, leading the boys around. I'm sure we'll be going green this time by. As we come around the cricket pitch section. Past the casino. Out to the left-hand side is the James Scott Memorial Fountain. Yep, Briggs is in 23rd at the moment, Mark, is where Adam is. So that early pit stop, being the first one to dive in, has probably not been the greatest. He's actually had 2 pit stops now, so it may have been a drive-through or something. Richie's in, we'll jump back on the Sean McNamara. It's about to lead the boys away. And I'd say we are almost, he's taking him a long way down the line here. And we are green flag racing. Away we go again. Nice little jump there from Sean McNamara, getting the jump on Johnstone. Jones is sitting a little bit further back. As we head down into turn 3 for the 9th time of this race. So Sean McNamara leading Johnstone, Jones from Century Motorsports, then Simon Chadwick and Craig Schultz, Ben Morris, 3 of the 9-5ers together there. Jamie Davis, Matt Brunt, Stephen Lawrence, Brad Doble. So Urquhart's dropped out of the top 10 there. The Dylan O'Shea's just dropped all the way down to the bottom. Not sure what's happened there either. So a few boys dropping down to the back there. Well, this race control still on the chat. We might jump. Cameron Jones here sitting in 3rd, only 0.3 of a second behind Johnstone, keeping the pressure on him. Great little battle these two had in the first race. Mark Duggan suggesting that maybe Adam Briggs had a jump start, which would explain why he had that early stop on lap 1. Should be a little bit disappointing. Right, Cameron Jones. Very difficult track, this one, of course. It's very hard to get that run up the inside of the corner here because you hug that wall on the right side. As we come round the cricket pitch section, past the casino. Come back around to the Strand. Big 90-degree turn right, back onto the Strand now. Follow that round the lake associated with the James Scott Memorial Fountain. Into the last corner, got to let the car flow, get it out onto the wall. And come down into the very tricky corner here. We'll keep going on board here. We'll come back and look at a few things in a minute. Turn 1, you got to get the flow. Got to get the flow right coming up over here, over the bridge, the big bump. You got to be careful not to lose it into the wall. Bring it back over to the left side. Start braking at the trees. Don't over brake and lose it. Don't want to lock it up. Let it flow. Get the car to roll out. Use the curb. Now you got to be patient. Accelerate. Entries, apexes, and exits. You got to get it right through here. You lose big time if you don't. Got to get this one right. Come onto the strand. Oh, a little bit loose. You can see the time you lose. You got to get it right. Otherwise, you lose time. On the accelerator. Hug the wall so you can straighten up the entry into this under brakes. Get it pulled up. Keep it off the curb a little bit. Keep it under control. Same thing again. Be patient. Be patient again. Let it sit. Let it roll. Be patient. Need to get a good exit out of this one. Got to be careful though. Over the bump coming out. You don't get too much wheel spin. Get the braking here. Brake at the 300. Cruise. Keep it off the wall. Get as close as you can. Same thing again. Accelerate. Close to the wall as you can. Great lap here from Cameron, except for one or two little spots, allowing Johnson to get away. And that's a lap from the nose cam, of course, of the Belle Isle circuit. And it's going to jump back. Hayden Harris has had an incident early on. Let's go on Supercheap replay. Have a look. He's parked up there, so I'm not sure. Go to the next one. So he was 3 wide. Coming down the back stretch. And a nice little tap. And down the escape route. So that's okay. Live to play another day. As we go back to live pictures. Ash Barella's had a crash as well. We'll have a quick look what's happened to Ash. There's his behind his teammate here. Not sure who it was, but he's taken his teammate out. Ouch. And another lap tap, one of the fishy cars. So I'm not sure who he's hit there, but wouldn't want to be the WK&P boss tonight. And we'll jump back to live pictures now. I think that was Michael Whiting who also came involved there with Barella in that incident. Was the fishy car. So the boys have spread out a bit. We'll get a bit of a recap. I've been sort of running around doing replays and everything else. So we have been... Hoffy's saying I've been eardropping on his coaching, as we've got one running into the pits, McMahon in the pits. I've got a feeling we may be under safety car here, guys. And it is correct. We've brought out the safety car. So that Barella incident, I'd say he's done that. Yes, if anyone's looking for a good driving coach, Andrew Hoffman is the man to call. Can teach you how to save fuel as well as to go fast. Comes as a split one driver from Vets Extraordinaire. Just give Pecky Performance Racing a call and ask for Andrew. There you go, free plug, Hoffy. So Tom Freer is up into 5th. So Tom, of course, still hasn't stopped. Matthew Brunt in front hasn't stopped as well. But this is a fair strategy from Tom. Tom was involved in an incident earlier. We couldn't work out which one it was. But we'll work that one out shortly. At some stage. So we might just bring up the pit strategy graphics just so we can see what we've got. So Brunt, McKnight sitting in 2nd, of course. Great drive from Jamie so far. Jamie Dyke, of course, he's also stopped on the same lap, so did Delaney. Freer still needs to stop. Chastity's got his stop out of the way, so's Briggs, so's War Boys. And the next one we have after that is Scholes, Dengate in 10th, Whiting in 11th. Might just have a quick look at Dengate. I think that might have been who got the touch up from Barella. Yep, that's a very sad looking Mustang. I hate to be painting those cars. Sean McNamara, of course, after his pit stop, he's popped out in 13th. So it's going to be very interesting. Let's see how this all pans out, to be honest. Of course, McNamara getting another 7 laps on his tyres than the others. But now on this circuit, track position is everything. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all pans out with another 20 lap sprint to go. And might just quickly jump on Richie just so I can keep an eye on what's happening in the procession. Yeah, pace car driver, Richard Barella. Then we're going another circuit. So I might take the opportunity to put out a plug for our sponsor.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, and that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Belle, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
So, great opportunity to refresh myself, get ready to go again after this second safety car of this race. So just recapping the race situation at the moment. We've had 2 safety cars. Matthew Brunt is yet to pit. Jamie McKnight is the leader of our pitters. He pitted early, I think on lap 4 or 5. Lap 7, sorry. And then we have Jamie Dyke, who pitted at the same time. And then we've got Blake Delaney for Fishy Motorsports in 5th, up 45 spots is Tom Freer, the man who was leading the race early on and was our pole man for the night. James Chaston, who's from BAR, is in 6th. Adam Briggs in 7th, our championship leader. So he's lost 6 spots along the journey, but we believe he may have had a jump start, hence the reason he's had 2 stops. Blake Warboys is up 19 spots into 8th, which is a great comeback drive from Blake, who was started in 27th. And Blake has pitted as well. And Matthew Scholes has pitted in 9th. Harrison Dengate in 10th. Michael Whiting for Fishing Motorsports worked his way up to 11th. And Michael Angus in 12th. His teammate, Sean McNamara, our race 1 second place getter, is sitting in 13th after stopping on lap 12. So he's the leader of the lap 12 stoppers. And Damien Johnson stopped with him on lap 12 as well. Hayden Norris is up 19 spots in 15th as one of the lap 5 stoppers. Cameron Jones down 12 spots in 16th, stopped on lap 12 as well. So Logan Barnett up 25 spots in 17th is doing well as the safety car takes off. Richie gives the Porsche 911 what for? Rides it up the curb there, lucky not the crash. As we jump back on with Matty Brunt. Richie brings it in. So Matty Brunt from Synergy Sim Racing here leading the boys out. As we wait to go green flag racing. Matty Brunt's away with green flag. It's on again. Looks like he's got a good little jump there, getting some clean air. And leading out, teammate Jamie McKnight. And Jamie Dyke from Fishy Motorsport behind with Blake Delaney, his teammate there, and then Tom Freer. So Freer and Brunt would probably be hoping for another safety car somewhere along the line so they could dive in. But we can see how it all goes. It's a few instances down the back. Dengate's involved in one. We might jump to the replay real quick and have a quick look. But Dengate coming down the back straight. Sorry, coming down into turn 3. On the brakes, locks him up. He clips the cushion. Another one for the pinball wizard. Looks like he gets it going. And one of the right boys took the escape route. As Matthew Brunt now has been passed by McKnight. And just gets clipped and takes out. Oh, no. He's just taken out Delaney. Wow. And that didn't pop up on my list here, so I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway. There's a few taps there. Matty Brunt's now dropped all the way back into 7th spot. So Jamie McKnight, the People's Champion, now has a clean track in front of him. What can Jamie do? Pitted on lap 5. Doesn't need to pit again. Has a 2-second gap. from the angry horde behind of Dyke, Briggs, Freer, Chastity, Warboys. And Chastity gets past Freer. So as we jump on with Warboys now, Warboys up behind Freer. So Warboy's already up 21 spots here. Freer in 5th spot. Freer looks like he's got a slow car. Warboys takes to the inside. Gets past McKnight, still out the 2.5 second lead though. So we have a look, Jamie Dyke now, under all sorts of pressure from Adam Briggs, our championship leader. Of course, Jamie Dyke, one of the Logitech G Pro Series drivers we were talking about earlier. This is a turn up for the books with McKnight out in front. As Briggs gets past Dyke here, coming down into turn 3. Nice clean move, gets the job done. Briggs now sets his sight on his teammate in front of him. Michael Whiting coming down through the corner. A lot of beat up, damaged cars here. Everyone looking a bit second hand. And we jump back up, Sean McNamara. He's already worked his way back up into 6th spot. Got clean air in front of him as he hunts down Warboys. Got himself past Freer now. The Warboys 9 seconds up the road. Having a good hard look. A couple of other good battles going on right through. The big battle pack running here. Cameron Jones, of course, in the middle of this here. One of the right boys behind him. So this is the battle I'm talking about that was sort of goes from 12th all the way down to 23rd. Big battle pack. All swarming over each other. Oh, big accident in the back. Oh, no. One of the BRA boys are in that. I'm not sure who else was. Might have been Paul Young and Matt Whitaker, I think. The old Accommodator's curse. We might just try and have a quick look at what happened there for Matt Whitaker. Go to Supercheap Auto Replay. So Whitaker, of course, gets clipped by Paul Young. Not much in it. Young gets clipped back again. Same again, not much in it. Looks like they keep out everyone else's way. Good to see. As we go back to racing now. Of course, Hoffy in the chat, a huge Jamie McKnight fan. And a drive-through penalty to Stephen Varga for contact with car 89. And just try and keep abreast of what's going on. So McKnight is still a second clear of Adam Briggs. So Briggs, he's starting to hunt him down a little bit. He's pulled out now 1.9 seconds from Jamie Dyke. And then in 4th place, we've got Chastity. He's being hunted down by 0.7 seconds to Warboys. Warboys under pressure from McNamara, who's hunting him down. So a great little battle happening here. As we start lap 19 of 33, already past halfway in this one. Blake Delaney in 7th. Tom Freya's gone in for his pit stop, which will really hurt as it's a green flag stop compared to everyone else who's done it on the 1st or 2nd safety car. As we continue to circulate here, looks like McNamara is going to be lining up Warboys here in a second. Bouncing off the curbs, meaning to hang on, is Sean. And of course, looking here of a tyre difference, McNamara's tyre is 7 laps younger. as he gets a good drive coming onto the strand. One of the other fun facts about the strand is if you look south over to the left-hand side, you're looking at Canada, which is one of the very rare places in the United States where Canada is south of the mainland. Apart from Alaska, of course. Before anyone jumps in the chat and says that. Oh, it's amazing all the fun little facts I come out with tonight, isn't it? The McNamara, this time looking for a move. Not going to get it done coming into one. Needs to get a good drive coming out of two. Gets over the bridge cleanly. Starts lining up War Boys. As Briggs has got past McKnight. Expecting that. Might just jump up. A quick look to see where Briggs is at. So he's McKnight's 0.6, 0.7 seconds behind. So he's definitely showing some clean heels here. Is Adam. McKnight, of course, doing really well to hang on here. Simon Chadwick's just had an incident. We might just have a quick look what happened to the 9.5er. Okay, Supercheap Auto replay. Came slow out of turn one. Not sure what's going on. Looks like it might be maybe some drive gear or car issue. But he's come to a stop. So maybe we might see another safety car. Back to the live pictures. It's Adam Briggs, 0.4 seconds in front of McKnight. Knight just hanging on. Just waiting to see if we've got another safety car here. As that car still hasn't got going yet. So I've got a feeling we are under safety car. In fact, I can see that Richie is on the track. So this bunches everybody up again. And takes any fuel issues out of the equation. So 3 safety cars for this one. I was thinking maybe 2. I only had 2 safety cars in race 1. Adam Briggs, our championship leader, now leading race 2 after leading race 1. Taking home a bag full of points here maybe tonight. Very, very commanding, dominant performance from Briggsy. Jamie McKnight sitting in second. Briggsy saving a bit of fuel here. Jamie Dyke in third from Fishy Motorsport. Great drive from Jamie as well. He'll be quite happy where he is. And then we come back to Blake Warboys up 22 spots in 5th. Sean McNamara sitting behind him, but Sean's tyres are 7 laps younger, along with Damien Johnstone behind him. Then we got Blake Delaney, Harrison Dengate still in the top 10. And Michael Whiting up 12 spots in 10th. Cameron Jones up 11 spots. Michael Angus up 9. Logan Barnett is up 29 spots in 13th. And Hayden Norris from Riot Sim Sports is in 14th, up 20 spots. The Grandmaster Warren Davis is up 27 spots in 16th. And Dave Kirby is up 28 spots with Kenny Ladder in 18 and 19. Nathan Gore is up 25 spots in the 24th. Tom Freer, after that stop, is still up 24 spots in 26th. Blake Urquhart's up 12 and 27th. Roy Clark's in 29th. Andrew Ritchie, after his big incident earlier, is in 37th. And Stephen Vargas still in the pits. And we are green again and racing. As Adam Briggs leads us out from McKnight 0.4. Dyke behind. She's going to be on for young and old. I'm going to jump back on Chastaneef here because I reckon this is where the battle's going to be. Hey, Chassis in fourth. Wallboards, McNamara, Johnson, Delaney. Hayden Norris getting past Barnett. Barnett coming straight back at him. And I'll just get rid of some more spam. Simon Chadwick involved in an accident on lap 20. So I think that might have been safety car related. Of course, we also think that bot was up there because they thought Nathan Brown was coming tonight. Jamie Dyke a bit loose there coming out of the turn. So Briggsy leads us through lap 22 into 23. McKnight's already 1.2 seconds back. Then we've got Dyke, Chastaneuf, Warboys, McNamara. So sitting with this group here, where the battle's going to be, I think. So big move here. Jamie Dyke getting it done on Chasty by the looks. No, Chasty coming back. This is the battle for third. All happening here. Of course, this is allowing McKnight to break away. Getting out to a second lead now. Breaking the shackles of allowing Chasty to get in the draft. There's Sophie. Yes, good point, mate. Jump in there if you're watching. Jump on. Give the stream a like. And if you haven't subscribed to WK&PT, give it a subscribe as well. Just so you know when we're on live. Also bringing everybody all the East Coast V8 Series races. And the Vet Split 3 Drivers Lounge on Friday nights. Love the comment, Will. So, Tom Free has been involved in an incident. We might just jump back and have a quick look at that. And of course, as soon as I do that, shouldn't have talked about it because we got botted again. So, Tom, another one on the cushion. Looks like he's got away with that okay. Not too much damage there. And a quick one of Paul Young. Not sure what's happened to the BAR legend. One of the right boys inside gets a little bit loose coming out, and the right boys give him a little bit of a helping after that and facing the wrong way. So that's a little bit unlucky for Youngie. I think he's having a bit of a bad night from a few of the battles he's had in race one. So quick recap. Chasty here is now 0.7. War Boys under pressure now from McNamara. And right up the backside of Dyke in front of him. So Warboy's getting some good drive through turn 2. Looks like he's got a good run here coming down. And I've got a feeling the race has just been neutralised. Not sure. Let me just have a quick look. Richie Barella back out on circuit. Yellow flag again. And it looks like Jamie Davis has stopped on circuit. Have a quick look here. I think this might be the incident involving Jamie. Going backwards there. Not sure what's going backwards for, but anyway. Where are you, Vargs? I just saw your note, mate. You need to be in the green room if you're there. I guess you must be stuck in gear. This is quite funny. Anyway, we'll jump back to live pits. And if you're there, Vargs, jump in the green room, mate, and I'll drag you up. There's a few boys coming in for some quick repairs here. As Adam Briggs backs it up behind the safety car. Just waiting to be joined from Stephen Varga. And he can tell us all about Belle's Hells, as Hoffy puts it. As it looks like Richie's clearing out here, about to go back to green flag racing. And Adam Briggs is away. We are green flag. In the East Coast green room. Barks? As Briggsy gets a reasonable jump here, McKnight going with him, keeping it clear of Chassis. So Briggs with a clean track in front of him. And we bring in the unlucky man of the evening, Stephen Varga. How are you, mate?
Just another night of East Coast, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Hoffy's named this place Hell's Bells, or Belle Hells.
I definitely agree with him there. Look, first race was going really well until lap 30. And until a certain WK&P driver decided to show it up the inside with too much speed going over the bump and
yes,
gave me a bit of what for. And look, that didn't result in a penalty. I don't know what's going on there, but
I've got a feeling we had someone from race control come up. I've got a feeling that's going to be a post-race one, I think.
Look, a lot of good that does me during the second race, doesn't it?
Yeah,
not really.
Yeah, true.
Anyway,
True.
The second race, I muffed up completely, tagged Michael Brennan, which I wasn't going to take advantage of it and just stayed behind him. And then under the safety car restart, muffed up again, locked the rears and took out a teammate.
You're not the only bloke taking out teammate tonight. There's been a fair bit of that going on.
At least he could keep going, but look, bring on the days of vets, I say. Like, at least people are a lot more respectable and don't stick their nose where it's not wanted as often. So
You're just not used to these young kids, mate.
Look, I think they could learn a lot from the old fellas, really, but
oh, absolutely.
These things happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, and we always knew tonight was going to be very tough with 59 cars around here.
It is a bit of a, yeah. Could have been good with 30 in each split or something, but look, it is what it is. It's all good.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, more action, I suppose. So
yeah,
a lot more action in this second race than the first one.
Oh, absolutely. Look, we've got this big battle pack here from McKnight, Chassaneef, Dyke, Warboys, McNamara, Johnson and Dengate. These boys are all backed up behind Jamie now.
And I have one thing to say to Jamie for no love, eat a dick.
I did read that earlier in the chat.
Yeah, no, he's doing quite well in second place. Let's hope no one takes him out. Not saying touch wood, not saying it.
Commentator's curse, yes.
Yeah. Let's hope no one hits him in the rear really hard. Justy, you can hear me? Nah, everyone's going well. It's a good race.
And You've been doing race control for Split 1 in Vets. How are you finding that?
Last week was a bit of a test, but let's hope this week's a lot better.
A lot better?
It was really good up until lap 26, until carnage broke out, and I said the dreaded SC word, and then as soon as I said it, before I could even finish saying it, it came out, so...
They all would have jumped on you.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's all right. At least you're still involved. It's good you're still doing something with the boys. And so you jump in and do a few laps here and there at Le Mans already?
Yeah, just got a quick couple of roughies out. They weren't too good, but good enough.
So these boys are really starting to bunch up here. We've only got 5 to go. That's some good drives. Kenny Ladder and Dave Kirby have worked their way up 31 spots to 15 and 16 respectively.
Kenneth's doing good, seeing how I get all the tackle going up the second safety car. Maybe he was back in 30th at that stage, so he's made some nice moves. And Christian for a drive-through.
There's Sean now having a look on Warboys. Warboys defends to the inside. Both give each other a bit of room. Warboys still giving room, going to be the outside. McNamara now will be on the inside. Nice respectful driving there. McNamara's now passed, so McNamara now sets his sights on Jamie Dyke in front. So, of course, Sean's tyres, 7 laps younger than everybody else around him here at the moment.
The amount of safety cars we had, like, most people pitted on the opening safety car.
Yeah.
I think your tyres would have been fine because you're only doing maybe 20 laps at full pace.
Yeah, true.
I'm tipping Jamie pitted on the opening safety car.
Yeah, he did.
His tyres are holding out.
Well, he's doing well, keeping Chastity behind. And Jamie Dyke stayed with that. Warboys dropped off a little bit, I think, going too wide with McNamara. That cost him a bit of time. About half a second, I think, on the pack in front.
We're up to that 10 o'clock time slot, so I don't have to be so clean anymore, Hoppy. I'll keep it respectful.
Save the good stuff for Fridays.
That's right. End of the week at work, let it all hang.
So Damien Johnston's just been involved in an incident, so he's just dropped off the back of this group here. So what's happened to Damien? We'll quickly go to the replay.
No. Oh, it looks like he's a bit of damage, I reckon.
Yep. No, just went deep. Another one in the cush. The old pinball wizard doing really well tonight. As we'll go back to live picks, try and keep abreast of what's going on up front. So McKnight's just been passed by Chastity. Go on, Jamie. 3 to go, mate. Hang on. There's got Jamie Dyke all over him.
Don't hang on. Give him what for?
And of course, Tom Freer now is up into 12th spot, up 38 spots. That's a great drive from Tom.
What happened to Tom Freer in the race 1?
He just put it on the grass after between turn 3 and 4. Just clipped the grass and spun into Hayden Harrison. And then I think it might have been Logan Barnett then came through and put him pretty much up on his roof again. Yeah, so it was a bit going on there.
I got a little bit of love from Tom going through that turn. I thought he was sitting right in the middle. I'll try to go around the front of him and
Yeah, well, you just got clipped a little bit, and then the next car behind you hit him on the bonnet and then threw him up in the air. So
Yeah, it was enough to black flag the car, but I was going into pits anyway, so it's all good.
So Warboys and McNamara are now latched on the back of Dyke here. So can McKnight hang on? Crafty old fox that he is. He'd know how to block his way around this place. A lot of smoke there.
Elbows will come out for sure. Elbows, knees, legs.
Walking frame. Of course, Jamie McKnight, the People's Champion, most winningest driver in the V8 Vets Series.
Tyres are looking a bit done for, I reckon. I'm on replay, but the way that went through that hairpin, ooh.
So, recap where we're at. Adam Briggs is 5.5 seconds up the road. Then we've got Chasty here in second. McKnight sitting behind him, trying to get his way back. Then we've got Jamie Dyke, McNamara, Warboys. Then Gates 1.5 seconds back. Delaney in 8th. Michael Whiting in 9th. Cameron Jones in 10th. Tom Freer up 39 spots in 11th. Which is a fantastic drive.
Come on, Titan, knock him off on the podium. Knock him off.
And
Go, Jamie. Go, Jamie.
we might just stay here. Christian Smart just had an incident. We might just have a very quick look at that. We'll go to the Supercheap Auto replay. So, Christian breaking into turn 1. Oh, someone off the cush has given him a little clip and taken him to the wall. So that's a little bit unlucky for Christian there. So McKnight trying to chase down Chastaneef. He's now cleared out to a 1.3 seconds. This is the battle. This is the last lap. What can Jamie Dyke do? Half a second behind.
Oh, yeah, no, Jamie's got it here. He'll hold on.
Yeah, I think so. And it's got to work out who our driver of the day is, which is a bit hard when you start thinking about two races, sorry. We've got some big drives in this second race here. Warboy's up 21 spots and Freer up 39. And we jump on with Adam Briggs, our race leader, as he comes through the second last turn around the James Scott Memorial Fountain section of the circuit. Into the last turn. And comes down, takes the checkered flag. Adam Briggs for the win. We're going to have Banter Alliance, James Chastaneef in second. The People's Champion brings it home in third. Can he do that? I think he's done that, sorry. And then we've got Dyke, McNamara, Warboys, Dengate, followed by Delaney, Freer, finishing in 9th, up 41 spots. That's a fair driver for that second race. Michael Whiting up 12 in 10th. Craig Schultz will be 11th. Cameron Jones in 12th. Nicholas Loveridge 13. 14 is Kenny Ladder up 33 spots. That's another great drive. Michael Brennan will be in 15th. Andrew Archer, Stephen Lawrence, Alan Dawson, Robbie Bradbury, Matthew Brunt, Steve Grumley. That rounds out our top 20. And let's just have a quick look here. There was one incident there on lap 33. I'm assuming Michael Whiting was involved in something. Not sure what that was. Michael Whiting and Cameron Jones here. Little tap. It's got Whiting spinning around. Very soft one. And gets that going. A few more boys get past him in the meantime. And the other one I wanted to quickly look at, and of course everyone's crushing it, is Warren Davis was involved in an incident as well on lap 33. So the Banter Alliance racing driver looks like he's going to get a bit loose. Nah, just getting out of people's way. I think that was the end of the race. Well, plenty of action, Varks.
It was.
Plenty of action. Big shout out to Mark Duggan as well for tuning in from Kings Canyon. Great to have you tuning in, mate. It's good to see you got better internet this week compared to last week where you were trying to ride a push bike to get signal.
Yeah, be good to see you again, Mr. Duggan. On track, that is.
Yeah, still plenty of distance to go. So it'll be interesting to see. I think the race control will have their hands full sorting that one out as well. I think there was plenty going on that one. 3 safety cars. Yeah, very interesting. So we'll wait a minute.
That all?
For that one. 5 for the night.
Felt like 4 or 5 in that race.
And we might start off by bringing in our second place man, because when we bring in a third place black, we're not going to get a word in. So we'll bring in our second place man because he's in the green room. Chasty, P2, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, that's don't know how I ended up at the front, but yeah, there it was.
You got to take it when it comes.
Yeah, no, I was a little bit fortunate, I think, after one of the safety cars, but yeah, each safety car sort of it disturbed my rhythm, and I was just trying to make a move on someone or had to catch up to someone, and every time I just caught the back of them and had a bit of a gap behind, I could have a go as a safety car again. So yeah, each one was pretty tense.
Yeah, no, it was pretty full on, and you sort of went in on that earlier pit stop strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I did it race 1. So race 1, I had the meatball. So I had to take the early stop. I was like lap 3 or something. So I had to save a bit of fuel as well, but I had the same tyres the whole way. So with the safety cars, you could save a bit more fuel, but I knew the tyres were pretty good at the end of that race, and that was lap 3. So pitting at the end of, I think, lap 6. I thought, yeah, I'll be fine. So yeah, just push through.
That sounds good. Anyone you want to give a shout out to, except for Dave Baldock?
No, I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Davey B, the big Davey B, all the Banter guys. I got Braden Martin as well, one of the Locked On guys in the chat, supporting me as well, and Jason Fewin. So cheers, you guys. All our sponsors, Bay 21, Grandview Remedial Massage, Kathy's Pet Portraits, it's a bit of a tongue twister. One Twine Designs, VFS, Vehicle Finance Solutions, One Spot. Cheers.
No worries, mate.
Thanks to you, John. Thanks for running the broadcast.
That's all right, James. Not a problem at all.
Cheers.
We might bring in our first place getter, Mr. Adam Briggs. Briggsy, long time no talk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, what, an hour ago?
Well done, mate. You did really well with that one. You drove pretty well, and the pit strategy was quite interesting there.
Yeah. I mean, I made it hard for myself. I got a jump start penalty at the very start of the race.
Yeah.
Which I had to which I boxed for under safety car, and it was a 12-second hold.
Yep.
So I got lucky to have the safety car, and then the next safety car after that was just the right time just to grab fuel to the end.
Yep.
So I got lucky on that, and then it was the rest of the race was just elbows out, have a go. So
yeah, no, definitely needed to do that. And of course, that McKnight fella, you had to chase him down. That would have been some interesting chat going on with that one.
Oh yeah, the People's Champion. He's a fast man. He's a hard man to catch, and so he played the team game a little bit tonight. So I owe him one now. So next time the position's reversed, I'll just have to remember tonight. So
that's good, mate. That's good. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, like Wave Runner, JK Signs, Smith and Sons, and Dave Oliver Photo as well, and Possie's Mechanical. So
too easy, mate. Too easy. And we bring in our third place getter now. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, how are you? It's the People's Champion on the podium with Mr. Briggs. He's the real champion.
Congratulations on your P3, Jamie. That was an awesome drive, mate.
Certainly was. I'll have to agree with you there, John. I don't know how I did it. It was a good pitch strategy at the start. I went in, I followed Briggs in. We went in and we got fuel together. I thought if I have a safety car too, I can make it home easy here, and I did. I had 9 litres left. I had plenty of pressure from the bus driver, I call him, Jamie Dyke. He was behind me. And also, I think it was Sean McNamara, who's mega quick. So I had plenty to do after I let Briggsy by. But I've just got to say that pass James Chaston have put on me with 3 laps to go around the outside is the best pass I've ever had done on me in iRacing point blank. Like, that was an awesome pass. I had to pay it. He shouldn't have been able to do it, but I left just enough room for him, and he put it in there clean, and we didn't touch. And I thought it was probably the best pass I've ever had put on me. Well done, James.
Yeah, it was some pretty impressive driving.
Oh, it's just a great pass.
Yeah.
You can't deny that. Someone does it.
No, you cannot deny it at all.
You got to take your hat off to it. No, you take your hat off and say, mate, good on you. If you can do that, mate, you deserve it.
And especially around here where you've got the concrete jungle to deal with as well. You don't really have much room to make a mistake when you do it.
How was your commentary form, John? Did you keep it up 5 and interesting?
I tried to. I was sort of NATO called in sick with a migraine after soccer training. So I think.
Well, of course, mate. He's a millennial. You know, migraines.
I think
hospital.
I think it might have been code for he got picked up on Tinder, but
I reckon that could be more to do with it, mate. When a young lady gets involved with an 18 or 19 or 20-year-old, mate, you and I know what it was like to be 20. And
absolutely.
iRacing can jump out the window as far as I can see when the bird turns up. But no, mate, I heard a bit of the first one. You're doing a great job, buddy.
Yeah, look, I really take my hat off to Luke. Luke does an awesome job doing it by himself.
On his own there, yeah. And what about Princey, mate? He's a star. He got past me and pulled 10 seconds on me.
He is. He's a huge star.
You know the worst part of it, though, John? He had one arm out the window while he was doing it.
Yeah, I reckon he did.
We're in Discord together, and he said, mate, I'm only driving with one arm. I'm changing gears. Oh, that's talent, mate. I just don't know that. But I'll get a podium here and there, mate. You know me, I'm happy with that in the East Coast. That's beaut for me.
Oh, look, and plenty of talent. The SSR boys, of course, as well.
Team of 600.
Mm.
Yeah, well, 599 members we've got. Yeah.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to, Jamie?
Mate, all the same ones as Briggsy.
Too easy, job done. And
Briggs, I'm still in the limelight here. Go on, Briggsy. You call him out. Make sure you don't forget West End Mazda, the response.
Oh yeah, I actually West End Mazda for sure.
Yeah,
Night.
That's it, mate. People's champion.
People's champion. But yeah, no, all the guys I thanked before.
Oh yeah, you've already done it before you brought me up. That's great stuff. Because I take an hour when I do it.
Yeah, I know.
It's good.
I know.
Efficient.
And we were going to bring up the man who was driver of the day.
Oh, he's a special, this lad, mate.
Yeah.
Bring him up.
Tom, he's got me on mute, so give him a second to unmute himself. He's probably listening to the broadcast. Tom, how are you?
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's with us.
Somehow.
How are you, Tom? How are you going?
Oh, yeah, pretty good. Yourself?
Not too bad, mate. Congratulations on driver of the day.
Yeah, bit of a what could have been that one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no, look, mate.
My wife says it all the time.
Up 41 spots in that race to finish 9th is pretty extraordinary.
I just noticed that 41 up.
Yeah,
it was pretty brutal. But...
mate. And the other one, for race 1, mate. Hats off to you for jumping in the chat and apologising. That was pretty pretty classy, yeah. So
yeah, second week in a row. So it's like Bathurst was a bit of a brain fade, and then this one was honestly, I was just looking at the relative. Like, I can't believe I even did it. So oh well.
Yeah. And then of course with the driver of the day, mate, you get the super cheap pit pass for Bathurst as well. So
mega, thank you.
Yeah.
Tom just got about 10 new best friends you watch. I want to go with you. Well done, buddy. Good drive.
Thank you.
That's all right. And next week, boys, a quick question for the 3 is why I still got you here. So next week we're off to Twin Ring Montague East.
Love it.
Love it.
Never driven there.
Never driven. There we go.
Don't worry, Tom. I've got a good set. We've done it at the Veterans a few times. It's great.
Copy.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's top track. I love it.
Some
people hate it, but I like it. Yeah,
all the veteran setups have been top notch, to be honest.
Oh, thanks, buddy. It's because I steal them off these blokes. Just a couple of quick edits and bang, there you go. Just kidding. We all build them together. They're good.
We might close out the broadcast, and just a big thank you to everybody for watching, and for people that do watch, don't forget to like and subscribe. and we'll be back
Before you
again.
go, John, before you
Yes?
go, mate, can I just say thank you to all of my fans in Canada. I love you all. I'll see you a boot soon, okay? They're a top-notch show. I always watch races, mate.
Yeah.
Well, no, and I'm serious. Tony Cleveland and that. Love you, boys.
Yeah. No, it's
Good stalwart of the supercar community in the Americas.
He's
So,
a legend, mate. And he's the person that's going to teach me how to set the car up, Tony. So I love him like a brother.
Absolutely. I've been racing against a bloke called Jeff Eddy from New York in vets.
He's a good guy too.
And he gets up at bloody 4:30 in the morning to come race vets with us. Like that's commitment. So
that's dedication, mate.
Yeah, and that's split 3 vets as well. So yeah, that's definitely dedication. So yeah.
Have a good night, boys.
So no, we'll close the broadcast out. We'll see everybody next week, and yeah, enjoy.
Well done, John. Thanks, mate. See you, boys.